Hello traders, good day to you all. Today it is the 11th of November 2013 and this is a daily market review for the current market status. Last week we had a very different circumstance in the market. On one hand, the dollar gained strength in the market because of the announcement that they had from the European Central Bank regarding the interest rate, that they've decided to lower the amount of interest rate in 0.25%. And we saw the expression on the US market. As I said, this announcement caused the euro to lose strength in the market, caused the dollar to gain strength in the market. And when the US market began to operate, we saw that generally the US market is expressing weakness. That was on Thursday. On Friday, we had an announcement regarding the US market, the non-farm payroll and the unemployment the employment change, sorry. And after that, at 8 p.m., we had an announcement from Bernanke. Generally, we can say that although the US market lost strength on Thursday, it gained strength on Friday. And there's a very disturbing problem in terms of correlation between the strength of the dollar, which kept on gaining strength after the announcement both on Thursday and Friday, and the US economy that gained strength on Friday as well. Today we've got a bank holiday in the United States and in Canada and other states. We'll see that in a second on the calendar. But what I want to say is that I'm expecting this week to reflect a devastating expression on the US market. It's not logical that the correlation won't return to the markets. We will always have correlation, strength and weakness and connection between currencies and markets, and eventually it will take place in the US economy. I think that although Bernanke gave some confidence to traders on Friday, and the announcements obviously that were very good for the US economy, although that perspective is still good for the economy, eventually the economy itself in the United States will have to reflect the strength of the dollar in the market, and that will begin a drop down on indices in the United States. My expectation is approximately 5% of drop down, which is an enormous drop down in terms of economy. Obviously, we're still dealing with a corrective pattern that is expected in the US markets before we will see another uptrend, and that will be followed by another corrective deeper movement in 2014. Let's go to the announcements. Basically, you can see that generally we've got the French bank holiday, the Canadian dollar is in a holiday as well, and the US dollar market is closed as well. We don't have a lot of announcements today. Usually on Mondays, we know that we're expecting to see low liquidity, but today I'm expecting to see a very low liquidity. Averagely, in front of other Mondays, I'm expecting today's liquidity to be very low. Tomorrow we've got again a very special day. We will see how the US market is reacting to the situation that we had last week. And every time at the end of the week, we can't really base our opinion for the next several weeks or days, only because of what happened this Friday. Again, this Friday was a very specific condition, and we will see the expression during this week. I believe that we will see the economy dropping down, the dollar gaining more strength, and the euro will eventually lose more strength in the market. So, looking at the announcements, we've got nothing today which will definitely move markets significantly. If you can see a good potential, we will see how to identify good potential today, especially in the current market status. So, we've concluded the entire idea of the calendar itself. Let's go to the charts and see if we've got something special today. So first of all, Japanese yen. We know that all currencies, not all currencies, but most currencies are below the 50 level, meaning that the Japanese yen is among the strongest currencies. We can say that the dollar itself and the euro are among the strongest currencies today. That's only the expression that was left out of last week. You can see that markets did not move significantly, maybe during the Asian markets time frame. You have to understand there's connection between all markets. Last week, on Thursday, the markets in the United States and Europe expressed weakness, and because of that, at the beginning of Friday, the market in Asia expressed weakness as well. During Friday, because we had a bit of strength in the US economy and in Europe as well, then only on Monday the Asian market reflected that strength, and because of that we saw that the Asian market gained strength at the beginning of the week. We can see the uptrends on all the Japanese currencies during yesterday's session, and it only reflects leftovers from last week. It's not really a new idea, a new issue that we've got from this week. So let's just organize the currencies very quickly. We've got the Swiss franc among the strongest as well. It's just bouncing back because it lost a lot of strength, and the euro as well, and the dollar kept its strength among the different currencies. So we've got the 46 over here, New Zealand and Australian dollar, as I like them to be. They are located at the same position around the different currencies. 45, 45, 43. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the gold and the dollar. We can see that the dollar is expressing 55. The gold is expressing 47. Definitely a good position for a put option on commodities, silver or gold. Let's test them for a second. Let's see if we've got a potential right now. Okay. Apparently it seems like the RSI is bouncing against the 48 level, which is the edge. In this case, I would take the silver to a 5-minute chart, looking at the structure in terms of Elliott wave analysis. It seems like we've completed the 5-wave structure, but just one second, let me add something here that will allow me to determine what cycle we're at. Okay, at the moment I'm expecting to see a bit more uptrend from this point toward this area approximately, and then I would expect to see a drop down. What will happen on the gold and the silver once they'll climb beyond this movement, then I can call this level over here a completion of a corrective pattern, maybe the 4th wave of this C wave climbing up. And this is why once I'll see a cross beyond the trend line, I'll be able to place a trend line below this movement. I won't participate in an uptrend movement, only in a downtrend movement, because that's the current RSI perspective. A bounce above this line will indicate that this corrective pattern completed its downtrend movement, and then I'll be able to place this trend line accurately according to the price that I will receive once this movement will occur. A move beyond the trend line will indicate that indeed the market is ready to proceed lower, and that will be a great entrance point for a put option. Again, today we've got low liquidity, but still we can find good potential according to the structure. Let's look at the gold. The gold is showing approximately the same structure. In this case, we're dealing with an extended B wave. Just to give you sufficient information to analyze that, that is an impulse wave dropping down. We've got the completion of a 5-wave sequence dropping down over here. We've got an A wave, we've got a longer extended B wave, and our expectation is to see a longer C wave that will climb approximately toward this area, and then we'll be able to catch that for a downtrend movement. So gold, silver, wait a bit more for that movement, a bit more uptrend, then place a trend line. I'll take the trade. It will be a great trade. Again, I know that I've got nothing to interfere that specific movement today, and once it will begin, it will just reflect the regular movement that we've got in the market. The market is always moving, and it will continue lower once it will cross a trend line below the corrective pattern. So in front of the Japanese yen, I won't really look for potential trade because I know that it's not the strongest and not the weakest. But definitely euro, Swiss franc, and dollar, if they'll express some strength in front of different currencies, I'll try to look for a potential trade over there. As you can see, the Australian dollar in front of the New Zealand, the RSI is between the 52 and the 48 level on a 15-minute chart, meaning that we've got no amount of liquidity, and we saw that they express approximately 45 indication on the RSI, so that's definitely reflecting the same image over here. We've got nothing on the Australian dollar and the US dollar, although it should pull lower. The dollar is stronger than the Australian dollar with approximately 10 digits, which is enough liquidity to trade on that one. Basically nothing over here. We had a great trade before, but again the RSI was a bit closer to the 48 level, so I would really, again, if the market is not allowing us to trade, then just don't trade. Again, as I said, the gold is approaching a good indication according to our strategy, but according to structure, and specifically because of today's low liquidity, I'm expecting to see a bit more uptrend before I'll catch that one for a downtrend movement. Silver as well, and euro versus the Canadian dollar. We know that the Canadian dollar is among the weakest currencies and the euro is among the strongest. Let's see on a 5-minute chart. Okay, that might be a good decision to trade on this chart. Again here, because we had a so-called impulse movement of an inner cycle, we can catch this A, B, C movement expected to drop down toward this level, and then we'll be able to catch that for an uptrend. Again, if you really want to trade today, it's not the perfect scenario that I'm expecting to see, but still it's tradable. Trend line above the corrective pattern and across beyond that will follow an uptrend, but only after we'll receive a downtrend that will complete the entire ABC cycle. A very interesting potential will be in front of the euro. We said that it's gaining strength. Again, remember, the euro was among the weakest currencies on Friday and on Thursday. And just because it changed its perspective significantly from being one of the weakest or the weakest. It expressed something like 38, if I'm not mistaken, on Friday. And since then, it gained a lot of strength. It's changed its position to one of the strongest currencies. So still I'm expecting the euro to deliver potential trades, and that happens especially in front of the Turkish currency and the ZAR, the South African rand. At the moment I've got no potential over there, but look for potential because the currencies which aren't the main currencies will be as flexible as they can to allow the euro to express its strength in front of them. The euro versus Japanese yen, again, not the best combination, so I would leave it at alone, although it seems like the RSI is high enough and the stochastic is on its way lower. Beside that, I've got no potential. Euro versus Australian dollar, very logical that we will see an uptrend over here. Again, if I would join this movement, it will be after I'll receive another wave down, and then an uptrend movement will be accepted. A continuance of a downtrend on the stochastic will reach a better exhaustion level that will be easier for us to catch this uptrend movement. Beside that, again, I've got huge expectations from tomorrow. I think that the market will be more organized, more liquidized. Again, just so many banks are closed today, so many markets aren't active, and it caused low amount of liquidity. That completes our session for today. Not much in the market, but several good potential trades. If you'd like to ask me questions, for those of you who are connected to my Skype, you can send me questions specifically for trades. I'll be more than happy to assist you with that one. From here, from Opteck, I'd like to wish you all the best. Have a pleasant day, and bye-bye.